Hello, grade 7. So, today we will be studying your chapter number 16, Biosphere, the realm of life. Small introduction I have already been given to you when I introduced this biosphere word. So, we have already learned about biosphere in narrow zone of life, and it barely have 29-kilometer thickness. It extends from 11 kilometer below sea level to tropopause, which lies up to 18 kilometer above sea level. And in this sphere, all forms of life, whether plants or animal, include microorganism, live. It's the combination actually of all three: atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere. So it's very important, which we have already learned. So life actually first emerged in oceans, and that too 600 million years ago. It evolved from a unicelled organism called amoeba and got diversified into millions of species of plants and animals. The abundance of species found on the earth is known as biodiversity. Man is the most important part of biosphere. He has affected the entire range of plants and animals through his activities. Man has several needs which he fulfills through natural resources. In distant past, he lived in perfect harmony with nature. But now, as he is growing and scientifically also the progress is being happening, it has started damaging the environment, natural environment. The issue of environment degradation has become a serious concern today. Beside human, plants and animals also form an integral part of the biosphere. There are numerous species of plants and animals. Also, we're going to study them in detail today. The first one is the plant kingdom. It includes all natural vegetation found on earth. By natural vegetation, we mean all the plants that grow naturally in the area without human interference. It includes forests, grasslands, shrubs, thorny shrubs, etc. Different kind of natural vegetations thrive under different natural conditions. Temperature and rainfall are the two most important factors that determine the natural vegetation of an area. For example, forests are generally found in the area of high temperature and high rainfall. Grasses are dominant in the area of moderate or low rainfall. So this is how they have elaborated. What about forests? They are the areas where trees are dominant vegetation. Apart from trees, bushes, creepers, grasses, apart from trees, these also grow in the forest. Under different climatic conditions, physical, soil condition, different type of trees also grow in different type of forests. Some forests have trees of softwood, while some have deciduous trees, while some have evergreen trees. So what are these different kind of forests all about? We are going to study them in detail. Number one is tropical evergreen forest, also called as rainforest. The trees of these forests do not shed their leaves altogether during any season. They have broad leaves and hardwood. Tropical deciduous forest or monsoon forest in India, the trees of these forests shed their leaves during the dry season. What about Mediterranean broadleaf forests? These are in the Mediterranean region and they are evergreen forest. Next is temperate broadleaf deciduous forest. They shed their leaves and they have broad and hardwood, broadleaves and hardwood. What about softwood and coniferous forests? They are cone-bearing and conical shaped trees. They have softwood. Basically, we use them in commercial purposes. Now come to grasslands. Grasses are long-rooted plants that grow under varying climatic conditions. They grow in area of low rainfall. In grassland, beside grasses, scattered shrubs and small trees also grow. There are two main types of grasslands: tropical and temperate. Now, what are these tropical and temperate? This tropical is known by different local names also, such as Llanos in Venezuela, Campos in Brazil, and Savanna in Africa and Australia. Temperate grasslands are found in colder regions and are in drier regions than the tropical grasslands. These grasslands are usually shorter and less denser than those of tropical. So tropicals are the denser, they are less denser. Long grasses grow only in the wetter regions. Trees are almost absent. Such grasslands are known as steppes in Central Asia, and different names in different places. Grasslands support a variety of wildlife and are economically very important as they are ideal for pastoral activities. What is desert vegetation? Deserts are extremely arid. They may be either hot or cold. Hot deserts are usually located on the western margins of continents. Sahara, Kalahari in Africa, Thar in India are the examples. Gobi Desert in Central Asia is the typical example of temperate desert. Deserts have a typical vegetation consisting of thorny bushes, cacti and pashy of sparse grasses. Most of the plants are xerophytes, well adapted to extreme dry conditions. Tundra is a cold desert. Here, extremely low temperature for about 7 to 8 months a year restrict the growth of plants. During short summer season, these flowering plants grow over there. What about animal kingdom? Animal kingdom include animal, birds, reptiles, insects, fish, etc. There are more than 11 million species of animals on the earth. Animals, birds, and fish which are not domesticated are generally referred to wildlife, which we can't keep at our places. Different species of wild animals are adapted to living in different climatic conditions. In the dense equatorial forest of Africa, elephants, chimpanzees, etc. are found. In tropical monsoon forest of Asia, elephants, lions, tigers, etc. are found. In coniferous forest of higher latitude, moose, bears, snakes, etc. are found. In savanna grassland, herbivorous animals are found. And in desert, camels are found. What about ecosystem? There exists a beautiful order and system within the variety of species. This is called ecosystem. Ecosystem may be defined as a group of organisms and the environment with which the organism interact. The science that studies the interactions between organism and their environment is called ecology. An ecosystem include both, which we have already learned, biotic and abiotic, and all of them dependent upon an input of solar energy. The biotic component include producers, which are plants, and consumer, which we, animals and humans, and decomposers. A biotic component include light, temperature, water, and climate. For their survival, living beings depend on each other. They're dependent on each other. For example, green plants prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis using solar energy. They are called producers. Animal called consumer. Why? Because we can't produce anything. We take from them, plants. Herbivorous animals are also dependent on plants, and carnivorous, they eat both plants and animals. Sorry, carnivorous are they eat animals, and omnivorous they eat both plants and animals. This feeding relationship between various organisms is known as food chain. Depending on the physical environment and the type of organism, there may be several types of ecosystems, such as forest ecosystem, grassland, desert, mountain, marine, pond ecosystem, etc. There exists a close relationship between animal, climate, natural vegetation in a region. The total assemblage of plants and animal life interacting in a region is called biome. Each biome has a typical plant and animal community. Each biome is usually named by its dominant vegetation. It's divided into 10 biome: tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous, tropical savanna, mid-latitude, temperate forest, desert, Mediterranean, temperate grassland, taiga bome, and tundra biome. Now comes man's interference with natural environment. The growing human population has interfered with the natural processes and has changed the environment. Human activities like agriculture, lumbering, fishing, mining, etc., and the urbanization have adversely affected the biodiversity in nature. Man has cleared forests to make room for agriculture and to obtain timber. This has resulted in shrinking of forest area. It has also damaged wildlife to a great extent, as deforestation has caused destruction of natural habitat of wild animals. Besides this, soil erosion, severe floods, desertification, and climate change are other adverse effects of deforestation. Fishing on a large scale has endangered the fish population, while hunting of animals has resulted in the extinction of many species. Our future generation won't be able to see these animals. Many more are on the verge of extinction. The increase in urbanization has also led to environmental degradation. The disturbed balance in nature has adversely affected the climate on the earth. Global warming is one of the main hot topic which is going on in today's environment. This issue has a lot of concern for the entire world. Earth Summit second was held under the aegis of the UN and Johannesburg in South Africa in 2002. The summit discussed the issue of increasing degradation of global environment and called for global efforts to save the environment. It adopted Johannesburg Declaration on Sustainable Development. However, due to differences in priorities between the developed and the underdeveloped nations, the summit was partial success only. So this is all about this chapter. Very easy, very nice chapter. Go through it, read it once again. All right, class. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.